Oh, come on, Twitch. Good evening, guys, and welcome back to SVOR. We are here at the Singapore Grand Prix for round 16. Tonight, you have in the comments box, you have myself, SV One Shot, and returning after a week off last week is Lightshark. Good evening.
Come back, bitches!
Hello!
God damn it.
I'm nothing if not brilliant with my entrances. How are we?
Having a laugh is it right now for that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Kieran's gonna love that.
Yeah? Or what, does he like it? Hey, nice.
No, I'm just saying he's gonna love that when he hears it back.
Yeah, probably. But well. Anyway. Obviously I missed last week. I wasn't really feeling too good last week. I don't know if it was just tiredness or maybe not feeling quite well, but I knew I couldn't give him my best commentary if I turned out last week, so I thought I'd take a week off, and I'm back. I'm ready to go today, and Singapore, I am looking forward to this one, just to see what our drivers can do around here. So yeah, I'm ready for it. Let's do it.
I think Killian's about to come out. Yep.
I see Mercedes movement, I see McLaren movement as well. Or was that Renault? No, it's AlphaTauri. It was none of them. So that'll be Paperstream or Brad making the move. I think it's Paperstream. It is. He will be the first car out then.
I forgot Mercedes is right down the other end of the pit wall, isn't it?
Yeah, Mercedes are all on like the first team you see as you come into the pits, all the way down to Williams, who are the first team to go out of the pits.
And the spares are left already. Lovely.
Oh, wonderful.
That's the spares' internet being shocking as per usual. No offense to spares, but
It was usually okay. The last few races I was here, it didn't seem like he had any issues, but maybe there's something I just don't know about. I don't know.
don't look at me. Don't look at me, mate. I have no clue why.
Why is the chat on sub? Yeah, I noticed that as well. I mean, for some reason, hang on. Let me see if I can still send a message. Nope. I can't send a message either. So it's definitely sub only.
Hang on, mate. Let me speak to Kieran.
Yes. Because I don't understand. Well, I don't even get that as a concept, to be really honest. I mean, unless you like really just want it to be people who actually. I mean, I suppose it's for the bigger channels, in some sense, but yeah, it doesn't. I'm not quite sure of it as a whole concept anyway. But
Paper Machine let Killian pass, so Killian's gonna be the first one to settle up.
yeah, so we'll go on board with the championship leader then. Presumably still championship leader. I mean, it's not like we're going to catch 90.
Yeah, he is.
It's not like they were going to catch 90 points on him in. I'll tell you what, I'd better bring up the standings so I can have a look. Thank you. There we go. Let's have a look-see then.
There we go. I'll send a message to Kieran, mate.
Good. So, so he didn't even turn up at Monza. So that's
Nah, he wasn't racing Monza. He had something to do.
that's a shame, but really has not affected his standing in the championship. He's still a good 75 points clear of Cole in second, who came second place last week out, with Vanos falling ever so further away from him. He's now 33 points off of Cole. Still in third place though, but now he's got to start thinking about LET Joe, who is now running back-to-back wins, both in Belgium and Monza. So the Red Bull on a bit of a roll at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do around the streets of Singapore. Unsurprisingly, lighting up the timesheets. Looking good. Looked a pretty solid lap so far, it has to be said. Now coming through the place where Kobayashi once binned it, and that seems to be the only thing I can ever remember about that bridge. And he binned it, and then Bruno Senna hit him. Or was it the other way around? No, I'm fairly sure I got it right.
Don't know, but apparently Someone lost it in a lead that I watched the other day there as well.
34-7. Fairly good that time. I think we'll probably see a bit more of him as we go through the weekend. Next up is Panda's starting a lap, so
Why? Oh yeah, forgot Panda's switched to the Williams.
has he? Okay, because he was in the Merc in Belgium. Don't know what he was in at Monza. So Joe's up there on an out lap. I think Cole will be next. He's just coming through sector 3. Well, I think he's backed off his lap actually, so I think he's going to go again. Which means I'm leaning towards Pete's on an out lap. Is it Thanos next? Yes, it is. It is AMS Thanos, who's just coming towards the end of sector 2, down that little bit of DRS switch. Well, you think there's no overtaking that can happen at that corner, but I've actually seen that it can be done if you're aggressive enough and if you're committed enough to go for that corner. So definitely not impossible, as Thanos now coming through the bridge. So, despite looking good early season since I've joined, ironically, he seems to have been struggling in comparison to his fellow AMS drivers. So let's see if he can turn that around tonight with a good result as he comes across the line. So only a 36.3 though, 1.5 seconds, in fact even more than that, off of
Panda's invalidated.
Indeed he has, as Killian goes even faster, 34.7 on his second lap. They're finding more and more time. And his paper stream, I think, is going to try again. Yes, he is. He's just coming around the final corner.
And he's invalidated.
Right at the end. Yeah, that's unlucky. As Matty goes P2 for 136.2, a tenth quicker than Thanos. Next one to watch is the man with back-to-back victories at both Belgium and Monza. Really rocking the mid-European season. Let's see what he can do now around the Asian Singapore track. Looking good. Crosses the line. Good lap. 34.3. That is a strong opening gambit.
I wonder what the record is around here.
Let's go have a look, shall we? Singapore track record. The track record of hang on, Singapore F1 track record. Marina Bay Street circuit. Okay, is that what I needed to type in? Okay. The race lap record is 141.9. That was set by Kevin Magnussen in 2018. Although that was with the Singapore. What? Okay, I'm just getting confusing because there's different records for like the ones with the Singapore sling. The outright record is only a 36.0 apparently, and that was set by Lewis Hamilton.
I want to donate to Wikipedia. Go fuck off.
Apparently, the outright lap record is only a 36.0, so we're already smashing well past that. That was set in 2018. They did race here in 2019, didn't they? I'm sure they did. Oh well, regardless, we are very much smashing past the records as Cole improves to a 34.9. Goes P3. As we've got, is that Pandas on a 37.4, but I think is going again, but he's a second down.
Pete invalidated.
Yeah, Pete's done an invalidation. Seen a few of those, which surprises me. I mean, it's a street circuit. There shouldn't be that many places to cut, but I suppose there are a couple of places that are literal minefields, like such as.
No, because the track limit. It's the track limits that are a bitch.
Yeah, Bomb just on board with Bonds now. All very close to the wall, but gets away with it. Coming through that sector, that of course was the part where Felipe Massa really just decided to yeet it past Ayrton Senna in 2012, which is still one of the best overtakes.
Wasn't there an accident there in like one of the recent F1s?
I'm not sure.
Someone went into the back of him. can't remember who it was, and I can't remember what year, but it was these era of cars.
Yeah, I feel something does spring to mind, but I can't quite remember what it is. We've got Bonge now coming around the final corner. Let's see what the new Ferrari driver can do. It goes P7, 36.5 into the top 8. Slowest time so far is a 40.3 set by Gangster Al in the Haas. There's not many drivers out there. Ranzi is out there. He's just coming to the end of Sector 2. So still getting used to the wheel, I presume. Is there any improvement being seen?
A little bit. Didn't have the best of races last week though.
Well, let's see if his fortunes are a little brighter around
Matty
Singapore.
didn't either because he died on that one.
Oh, lovely. Well, not a good weekend for Renault last week then.
Yeah, Randy retired as well later on in the race.
Let's see if Renault can do better at the home of one of their biggest controversies. It's only a 37.6 for Ranzi, second slowest time so far. But yes, Renault, infamous what happened here in 2008 now. Obviously, it's been a long time since then, and obviously different management and drivers have come and gone since. But it will always be a shade over their F1 career nevertheless.
This won't be called Renault next year.
No, they're going to be becoming Alpine as of next season. Be interesting to see if the team of Alonso and Ocon can get the most out of those cars. Ocon getting obviously a big, well-needed boost of moral support, I suppose you could say, after the podium in Bahrain. We'll see how they do. Well, Joe's retired in pit, so he thinks 34.3 is safe. I would be hard-pressed to bet against that. I think he's very much through. So, former champion Bradford has just begun a flying lap, so let's go on board with the AlphaTauri. This is now coming around these few sectors. That is a crash. Oh, and that is a crash at the turn just before the DRS. So Bonge has gone into the wall, and well, no matter what now, the best he can hope for is 15th place. As Bradford invalidates, goes too wide on the exit of that corner. And we'll have to try again. So what happened to Bonge? What happened to Bonge there? He just seemed to have lost it. See if he says anything in the Discord. Who else is going on a lap? I think is that Thanos is just no, as Matty retires in pit, so he doesn't think he can do any better than a 36.2.
Oh, that's why Despair's left, by the way.
What happened?
His internet went off.
Oh, lovely.
Lucky.
Bonge in the chat saying a small smooch of the barrier went very horribly wrong. Yes, it did. When you're playing truth and dare with the barriers, it can tend to not end up going well.
Nope.
So SV Richard, I think, will be the next one to set a lap. Although he does have the Williams of Cole behind him on a lap as well. So interesting to see if Cole does catch up to Richard here. No offence to Richard, I think Cole is the quicker driver. We'll have to wait and see if.
Oh no, Richard knows it.
I never want to say.
He doesn't.
I never like saying someone's faster. You know, I don't want to sound condescending or rude about it, but
Rich does know though. Like, he doesn't pick a fight with anyone like that. He just knows they're quicker than him.
Well, here we go then. I think he hasn't caught him though, so I think they're both going to get clean laps in. It is a 34.2 for.
He was getting thingy assistance there.
He was just a bit. 34.2 set for Cole, so goes fastest as Richard set a 39.8. Don't forget, obviously, because Bonge his time will still count. So 36.5 may still be enough at this rate to get him through, even if it would only mean 15th place for him. Southern Ping has just set a 38.9. Birdie Boy 35.9 in the pit. So Racing Point, one driver up there, one the other driver a little bit lower down. As Ninjas has also set a time of a 37 point in the McLaren. And next up come the two Alphas, just coming through the final sections. Oh, as Bradford has his own little kiss of the barrier right there. Fortunately, it didn't go quite as wrong as it did for Bonge. And he sets a 38.0 on his second lap. Not bad, especially because these tyres don't generally tend to last more than one lap. As Paper Stream, I think he's going to go for that again. I think he was just backing off. 2:12 is not a representative time at all. He's currently in the drop zone along with Despair, who will be interested to see if he does get back in.
Yet.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to have time. So as it stands, I think Despair.
He's starting last.
He is probably going to be starting last. Yes. Now it's just a question of who will be out of Q1 with him. At the moment, it's Paper Stream, but he is out there on another lap. Gangster Al will need to get out there if he's going to go in. SV Richard is in the pit, so he's going to have to hope that Gangster Al. Disqualified from session, parked in a dangerous location. I can see him now. He's gone off into a side road, and that is disqualification for AMS Cole, which puts him 17th and last now. Which means that should be qualifying over then, because Despair is out because we know he's not getting back in, and Cole has been disqualified. That's effectively qualifying over then. What on earth has happened to? I got on board to see where he was. He was down.
Yeah, I thought he crashed.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well, because I saw the yellow flags, but no, he parked in a dangerous location. I can only assume he must have not moved for too long.
Oh, that's why he's starting last. It's a bit of fun.
Oh, so it's on purpose from Cole. Well. Fair enough. You know, toot your own horn and whatnot, but make sure you don't die on your own sword. That's what I'm going to say. Nevertheless, it does give a Q2 appearance for the likes of Gangster Al and Richard, who probably were under a bit of pressure going into the session, but they will get progress. Bonge does progress, but will not take further part in the session, as he crashed, so he will be starting 15th, so we only 14 drivers in Q2. I honestly thought Cole had been joking when he said he was going to start last, but no, he means it. Because everyone can now pretty much retire knowing that they're safe. I think everyone will be coming back into the pits. We do have some drivers still out there, but Gillian is out there, Richard is out there, but not going to get round in time to start a lap. Gangster Al is going round, maybe just getting some more practice in, I'm not sure. And Paper Stream's out there as well. They're all safely through, so this is essentially just practice now. Because, as I said, Despair not able to get back in time, he is out, and Cole has purposely disqualified himself. That means he will start at the back of the grid, but it's what he wants to do. Have to wait and see if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Killian improved, I think.
Not sure if he did, but if it did, it must have been a pretty minuscule improvement, because I think he was on a 34.7 before. As Paper Stream's into the pit, so that means it is just Gangster Owl on a lap. Maybe just, like I said, he must just be trying to get some practice in. He's gone very wide at the hairpin. And he is 1.6 seconds down on his current time. So, yeah, he must... I'm not sure how much fuel he's got in. Not much, actually, looking at the steering wheel. But, yeah, it looks as though he's struggling for pace. So it'd be interesting to see if he can get out of Q2. My gut instinct would say no, but you never know. He might surprise us.
Well, the spare route doesn't look like it's coming back on anytime soon.
Well, he's still got some time. He's got about 27 minutes and a bit, because obviously 15 minutes for Q2, 12 minutes for Q3. So he's got the better part of half an hour. So let's see. We'll have to wait and see if he comes in. But for now, he is the driver eliminated, along with AMS Cole, who has been disqualified. And while Bonds has made it through to Q2, he will not take part due to the crash and in Sector 1, and he will start the first and 15th. So I do think anyone that's not in the 37s will have to try and up their pace a bit. So Bradford down. They might be fighting over that final position in Q3. And the other question is, of course, some of those drivers that are higher up the grid may try and get through on the medium tyres, because I think the medium to hard strategy is probably the best strategy to go for here.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to
Still
see.
not a message off Kieran yet.
What's that about the subscriber
Sub-only mode, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see just what tyres our driver's going on. We're already seeing medium tyres being prepped for Thanos and Joe and Pete. Oh my god, everyone is getting the medium tyres on. Even Richard's going to have a go on them in the Ferrari. They're all going to try and go out on the medium tyre. As I suspected some of them would. And I believe it is Thanos leading them out in his McLaren. You are, man?
Yeah. Trying to get comfortable, man.
I know that feeling. I have like a racing cockpit sort of thing in my room that only just fits in my room, and the chair is not the most comfortable, I have to be honest. So I can relate. So we've got Joe out there on the mediums as well, Matty's out there on the mediums, Killian as well on the mediums. The only one out there on soft tyres is the other McLaren of SV Ninjas. So he is going out on the softs, so it'll be interesting to see if he does complete his lap or if he's going to maybe just use it as get his eye in. That's what some people do.
Excuse me.
Pardon you. We've got Southern Ping out there on the soft tyres as well. They're the only two out there on softs. Let's see Bradford coming out on the medium tyres as well.
Give me a second, just put my glasses on.
No worries, no rush. Vans is coming out on the mediums as well.
There we go.
So far, still no movement from Panda, Gangster Owl and Paper Stream, although I do see Panda moving out on the medium tyres now. So it will be Thanos leading them, although he's got Joe quite close behind and Killian not far behind them. They are probably going to be sort of the favourites for top 5 films. We've got yellow flag sector 3. I think that is just them slowing down to give each other room as Thanos sets off with LET Joe in hot pursuit. So let's see. Well, Joe's been on pole the last two. Well, I don't know if I presume he was on pole at Monza, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he was.
He was. So it seems as though he does seem to be the man to beat at the moment in that Red Bull pole position.
He also broke the Monza quali record as well again.
Well, I mean, after what I saw, I mean, let me just check. I'm just going to check the 2019 Singapore times, just in case they just forgot to update it on Wikipedia. No, weirdly, they were faster in 2018 than they were 2019. Crazy that. In 2019, the pole was a 36.2. 2018, the pole was a 36.0. So that is the fastest time, and well, we were already in the 34s comfortably in Q1. So yeah, I'm expecting this pole time to be absolutely smashed today, even on the mediums.
Either by Killian or either by Killian or Joe.
Yeah, those two are probably the favourites, especially with Cole out of the running now, as he's purposely going to be starting at the back. Yeah, it'll probably be those two. I wouldn't write Thanos out completely, but we'll wait and see just what his pace is on these medium tyres. He comes around the final corner. Thanos crosses the line. 36.5. I mean, not bad. He was on a 36.2 on the soft, so perhaps was going a bit easy. But here comes Joe.
Joe invalidated.
Oh, now that could be very crucial.
Ninja's 37.0.
And there's enough ARS to go for it again. Ninja's 37.0. Freddy Boy
36.4.
That's a good lap by Freddy Boy to go faster than Thanos. Very good lap in the racing points. Southern Ping 38.2. Next up is Richard 39.8 on the mediums. Pete's next in the Alfa Romeo.
Invalidated.
Ooh, pressure on the fast boys then. 37.1 set for Pete. So that's pressure on the quicker drivers then, because they'll have to take a little bit more out of their tyres. Yellow flag sector 2. I think it's just some slow moving.
I think it's Freddy Boy.
Yeah, slow moving.
I think it's Freddy Boy letting people past.
Yeah, perhaps also maybe going easy on his tyres on the way back in. Here comes Bradford. Across the line now. P6, 38.3 on the mediums. Next up is it's Ramsey, 39.0 sets on the medium tyres. Panda coming next. Around the final corner he comes in the Williams, lone Williams now. And that's a not bad time, 36.9 for Panda. The times are improving quicker and quicker. I think it will be Joe next, because Matty is on an out lap, so he will be starting a flying lap. So second time of asking. Let's hope he doesn't do the same thing. No, he does not. And goes fastest. That's a very good lap time on the mediums. Very good time indeed. Oh, as we've got, that's a crash. That is a crash for Ninjas.
I knew he'd bin it.
He's binned it. It's and Southern Ping followed him. I've just got on board with Southern Ping to see it, and Southern Ping has followed him. It's a bit of a car park there at. Well. I mentioned Kamui Kabe actually had a crash there, and it looks as though these two drivers have decided to emulate him. What the hell?
Oh my god!
Sorry about that. My phone just started playing something stupidly for some reason. Whatever. Yeah, so
I saw the end of that crash. Oh my god.
Yeah,
the carnage of that.
Yeah, so
so that's them two out of qualifying.
Ninja and Ping out of qualifying. Even should they make it into Q2, they will not take further part. But I suspect 38.2 will definitely be beaten. 37.0 probably be beaten. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, Killian's out there on another attempt, so he's pit and gone out again.
Thanos feels he's done enough.
36.5. Yeah, probably. Panda's.
So Panda.
Yeah, so they've retired in the pit lane. I think they probably will get through, especially with Ninjas and Ping out. Effectively, as Matty goes P3, that's a good lap by Matty to go ahead of Thanos and Panda. Very good lap indeed. Paper Stream out there. We haven't seen Gangster Al go out there yet. He's on the medium compound tyres as well. As Freddy Boy retired, so he thinks 36 is enough as well. We've got a... What's happened to Killian?
Yeah. Out, I think.
Does he have damage? No. Okay, got away with that then. As Joe lets him pass as he's coming into the pits. But here we go then. AMS Killian starts his flying lap. Going very, very wide, literally almost onto the painted tarmac.
Yeah. I hate to think how long it takes them to do that.
What, paint all the tarmac? And
Yeah, like for street circuits. I'd
Yeah.
like to think how long it takes for them to set up street circuits.
Probably months in advance, maybe more. But then you got to think as well, like these are I think Singapore in particular, this is mostly like public roads, so it must be like
So is Monaco.
yeah, it must be like a major operation that they like do, and like maybe it doesn't.
I think they do it like a week before.
Yeah, so they must have like a whole
Or a week before.
They must have like a small army of people that they employ just to get this done, like in quick succession. So yeah, they'll need to do, because obviously they don't want to disrupt. They want as little disruption to the normal street life as possible. So Keelan's just come round past sector 2, 103 time sets, and at the sector 2 mark. I think it was a little slower than what Joe did, but I think this is still going to be good enough for a P2 slot. And at the end of the day, he only needs to set a good enough time to get through to Q3. But I did hear in the Discord chat, I think he is struggling a little bit with this track. I think he is...
Track limits are a cunt.
Oh, and he's had a big moment, lost it in the final corner. Oh, very scary moment. Didn't retire it, but that's another wasted lap on these mediums then. And what's Killian going to do now then? Because he's used a lot of...
He's got enough time.
He's got enough time, but he's already used those medium tyres up quite a bit, and that spin is not going to exactly have helped them. Be interesting. So
They're one lap old.
Paper Stream's gone 11th, only a 39.1 for Paper Stream. SV Richards out there trying to improve, but yeah, at this rate, Ninjas and Ping might get through, but then not be able to qualify. Which would be interesting what they would do on the tyres then, because obviously they wouldn't be able to use the same set because they've buggered them. It'd be interesting to see what they would do on that front. At the moment, they would get through because Killian needs to set that time. Gangster Al hasn't even gone out yet. Perhaps
Killian's just invalidated, but he's on a cool-down lap by the looks of it.
Yeah, this lap was never going to be quick because of the way he had started it after the spin at the final corner. I think he's just trying to get his ERS back and save the fuel, but I don't know if I'm not sure if he's even got enough fuel for a second run. So I'm just looking at the steering wheel. The bottom hand number in that left hand box, I think, is the fuel. And I think he's got one lap of fuel basically, and that's not going to be enough on max fuel load. So he may have to come in again. Maybe we'll have to bite the bullet. Oh, as Bradford's had a spin right in front of him. They're struggling at this track, these drivers. They're really not getting to grips with it. And into the pits comes Killian. As Richard has improved, actually. Good lap by Richard. He's gone P7 ahead of Bradford. He's into the top. And that is ahead of Ping. Not ahead of Ninjas, though. Nevertheless, Richard is sniffing a Q3 appearance here, which would be fairly impressive for him. Pete retires.
Feels like he's done enough.
Yeah, I think he'd probably be okay. I think Bradford has some improvement in him. So obviously, we saw him spin, so I think he's probably got more in him if he can hook the lap up. We still don't know what Gangster Al can do. Ramsey's coming out on the same set of mediums.
Killian's just got literally one lap to do. He can only do this in one lap.
And he's coming out on that same set of used medium tyres that have already taken a right battering. So one way or another, he's not going to be in good shape for the race. Because those tyres, well, Joe only took a couple laps to do it. Freddie Boy only took one lap to do his. Same with Matty and Vanos and Panda. Killian has taken a lot out of these medium tyres, and even should he get a good qualifying position, sense those tyres will probably give up the ghost a lot sooner than everyone else around him, as Joe retires also. And I don't think Richard and Bradford, they're not going to have time to go out there at this rate. I think that
might. If they go out now, they might.
I'm not seeing any movement in their garages. We do have Gangster Owl out there on the medium tyres, so we'll see.
That's just sector 1 though, out of everyone.
Yeah, not always. It's hard to always believe those, because obviously it's gone purple on the track. So that's not always accurate. Nevertheless, we'll see what he can do. Potential for a Q3 appearance. If he can get a good lap in here, he would need to be
27.4.
Yeah, that was in the first sector. Gangster would need to be at least in the low 38s to secure Q3, I think, here.
Oh no, I think Brad's the fastest, sector 1. Oh no, Pete, 26.7.
Yeah.
26.6 from Thanos.
Richard and Bradford have gone out there, but I don't think they're going to have enough time. I think they've gone out too late.
26.1. 26.1 is the fastest first sector time.
Okay. Well, here comes Gangster Al now. He's just coming towards the final corner. Oh, brushes the wall. What time can he do on his medium tyres? He comes across the line now. It's only a 40-0. That's not going to be enough, and Killian probably wants him out of his way quickly. And Gangster Al is really holding him up here. Killian, I don't think he's going to be thanking Gangster Al here. He's literally, he's literally just shoved him into the wall there. I mean, I am going to say, although that was a bit rude, I think Killian was due a bit of space there. Gangster Al just completed his lap. Killian
It's raining.
And it's raining,
yes. By the way.
Oh, this is bad news if your name is Killian then, because now he's got to get a lap in, but the track conditions aren't going to be at their optimum.
As long as he gets into P10, I suppose, he's fine.
P10, yeah, 38 to...
If he gets P9 or P10, he's fine.
He needs to at least be in the low 38s. Bradford actually has the slowest time in the top 10. 38.3. Obviously, Ping and Ninjas are through, but are going to be eliminated by their crashes. So he needs to be in the low 38s, but he's 1.4 seconds down on his fastest time. Although he did lose a lot of time in sector 3, that's where the time will come back to him. But the rain is going to make this tricky. Pressure is on Killian. Comes through the final chicane, looking steady, and now the final corner. This is where he made a mistake earlier. He holds it together this time, crosses the line. He does
there you
enough,
go, P7,
just enough, and it pushes Bradford out of the top 10, where he will start in 11th place. It does mean SV Richard has made it through to Q3, I should say. So congratulations to him. That's a good result for him, but Killian needed that desperately. But as I said though, those tyres have taken a lot of punishment, and well, we'll have to wait and see if he can put it on pole position.
We might have rain for Q3.
That's what I was just about to say, yeah. What are the conditions going to be for Q3? Will it be intermediate tyres? Killian, yeah.
Gangster out to retire.
Yeah, and Killian not happy with Gangster Owl at all. He definitely doesn't think he was blocked. And I'd have to agree with Killian on that one. I think Gangster Owl really should have got out of the way there, because he wasn't on a flying lap. And yeah. You know, they're helping out. I can see what's being said. I'm not going to repeat it, but nevertheless, Killian did still manage to get through despite the blockage, along with Joe, who's setting the pace. I
can't, Randy.
1.6 seconds between him and Freddy Boy. That's a massive, massive gap. Matty third, Thanos, then Panda. Pete is through. Killian 7th. SV Richard, like I said, great result. Even if he is on the soft tyres, to get through to Q3, that's a great result for him. Ninjas and Ping get through, but their crashes early on in the session means they won't be taking part, so it's only going to be 8 drivers. And the 4 drivers officially knocked out are Bradford, Ramsey, Paper Stream, and Gangster Owl. But in all honesty, starting 11th and 12th here, not necessarily the worst thing in the world. They get the fresh set tyres. They can go a bit differently on strategy, so we'll wait and see what they can do. Bradford also saying he got held up on his lap, so he thinks he could have gone faster. And it is raining. The rain is falling and from what I'm seeing, it does look as though it's going to be intermediate tyres for this Q3 session. So now the game changes. We've seen drive what they can do in the drive, but what kind of pace will they show in these mixable conditions? So we see movement in the Red Bull garage and the Mercedes garage, and it is it is Joe leading them out. Killian following.
The quali lap record ain't being broken.
Yeah, well, yeah, not in Q3 anyway. We've already seen it broken in I think the fastest lap we've seen of this qualified session was the 34.3 set by Cole earlier in Q1, and that is going to be the fastest lap we see today. Because, yeah, these intermediate tyres are definitely going to slow these cars down. It's not to mention the treacherously wet conditions as well. Nevertheless, they still have a job to do. So we'll wait and see just who can get the best of these intermediate conditions. And, of course, we don't know if the rain's going to intensify or lighten as the session continues. So we'll have to wait and see. So it is Joe leading them around. He's got Freddy Boy just behind him. They were the top two in Q2, although Freddy Boy was a good 1.6 or so seconds off of Joe. So at the moment, Joe is definitely favourite for pole position, but anything could still happen. Maybe haven't seen the best out of some drivers, so we'll just have to wait and see just what they are capable of as Joe flings it around. The only two drivers not on track yet are Richard and Pete, the Ferrari and the Alpha. So no Ferrari power out there right now. Maybe wait.
Who's the first one to settle out?
It will be Joe, followed by...
I'm going to keep on this then.
Yeah,
I'm going to keep on him because I'm going to quickly next to Lou.
No worries. I will stay on board with him as well. Freddy Boy just behind, then Killian, then Panda. Then it is Matty, who's shown some good pace so far. Matty usually sort of in the middle pack, but Matty's looking a strong contender for a strong starting position here. As Joe starts to fly in lap. That looked a bit shaky going around the final corner. Freddy Boy starts his lap. Killian as well. Killian needs a good result here with his tyres in the state they are. We'll have to wait and see, obviously, what he can do. Looking good for Joe so far. Obviously, as Jack said, we're not going to be seeing flat out lap times the same as what we saw in the last session. I'm expecting the lap times to drop into the 50s in all honesty. That's usually what we see in the wet conditions. But we might see someone breaking the 49s. We'll have to wait and see. We do have Richard and Pete out there now on outlaps. In fact, they've got Joe catching them, so Richard will have to stay out of the way, which I'm sure he will do. He's just coming around the chicane now. I'm sure he'll see the Red Bull of Joe in his mirrors. No sign of the Ferrari moving just yet. 13.1. To put it in perspective, he was doing a 1:02 at this point in the sector 2 time zone. Ooh, this could be hurting him though, because Richard is now officially in Joe's way here, although he does stay to the side. That was well done, to be fair. So let's see if what kind of time Joe sets on these intermediate tyres. The Red Bull's been going well all weekend in the dry. In the wet could be a different story, but it's been looking good so far. Comes around the final corner then, the first time on the board. It is a 51.7. That is a good time in the wet conditions, I have to say. Next up is Freddy Boy coming around the final corner. 54.2, a good 2.5 seconds off. Killian is next. He's come back into the pits. An invalidation. Panda as well has invalidated also. 53.9 was set, but no time will be set. Matty's coming into the pits as well. What about Thanos? Is Thanos going to complete the lap? He does, but it's only a 54.7. 3 seconds off of LET Joe, who is just absolutely monstering this qualifying session so far. It's a fantastic time.
I'm back.
Well,
Missed anything?
First few times come on the board, a few drivers are coming to the pits because of invalidations, but currently Joe is leading, and he's a good 2.5 seconds clear of his nearest rival, Freddie Boy. He is absolutely on fire at the moment, is Joe. Currently on board with the Alfa Romeo Pete, who's just coming through the end of Sector 2 now. It's a bit understeery so far in these conditions, as Joe stays out of the way of Richard and Freddie Boy as well. I don't know if they are going for another lap.
Freddie Boy's invalidated.
So he's invalidated, so he won't be going again. As Pete comes through the bridge, we've already seen some drivers lose it there, but no such pain for him so far.
Excuse me.
Pardon you.
That's the Mountain Dew, that is. It's the Mountain Dew.
That's alright, no problem. Well, here comes Pete around the final corner. Goes a bit wide, but gets away with it. And goes second. 53.9, that's a good lap by Pete. His teammate has usually been the quicker driver, but his teammate has not joined back yet, as far as I'm concerned. As Richard goes 5th fastest, slowest time of all. Almost 6 seconds off of Joe's mighty 51.
Panda goes into the pits.
Yeah, so Panda's going to go out for another lap, I presume, in a few minutes' time. You got Killian out there on an out lap after mucking up his first run due to invalidation. And this has kind of been the theme for Killian. He's not looked at home on the Singapore track. And it might just be me, but I think that rain is getting heavier and heavier. It looks as though that rain is more intense than it was before. That's a proper deluge out there now, and I just wonder if that might just make things a bit tricky for those who have not set a time yet. Because I'm almost certain now we could be leading into full wet conditions soon. Look at the way Killian is. He's having to go so easy on the throttle.
That's no traction for you, that is.
Yeah, someone who drives no traction as well, it is perilously difficult in the wet. I actually had to deal with wet conditions in a race last night around Mexico, and it was tricky, very tricky. Ooh, yeah.
I mainly run medium, but
I used to run medium, but I took traction control off last game. I was struggling with it. Oh, and a big understeer for Killian. I think these conditions are getting too treacherous. I think there's aquaplaning going on all over the place. Oh, he can barely keep it on the road. I think those that have gone early have benefited massively here. I don't think we're going to be seeing many improvements on the times. But yeah, I struggled with traction control in 2019, but this game I felt a lot more at home with it. I think if it keeps going as well as it has been, I think ABS is the next thing that's going to come off. So, but until then, I'll stick with how I am. But I think some of these guys are probably wishing they turned the traction control on, because it looks absolutely treacherous out there right now. Oh my God, Killian's got his braking all wrong. He just can't get the braking right in these conditions. I think the car's just aquaplaning, and he just cannot get the braking right. This lap has been, well, I think Scruffy would be kind, in all honesty. It's been absolutely shocking because of the difficult conditions. And look again, he's understeering here. Oh, and a bit of off throttle oversteer for good measure. He's just all over the place, and I'm not expecting a quick lap here. Well, look at this. I think he's already a good 5 seconds at least off of Joe, maybe even more. Joe retires. He thinks there's clearly not going to be any improvements in these conditions, and I'd have to say I'd agree.
I think Singapore is probably the worst for the rain, though.
Yes, I would have to agree with
Yeah,
that
he's
one.
abandoning.
Yeah, he's coming into the pits. I'd have to agree with that one. When it gets wet, Singapore is terrifying, and Killian literally just spins it into the pit lane. What this does mean, though, is and Killian retires. He doesn't think there's any point. Matty is going to go out there on wet tyres, which actually
Don't blame him.
Yeah, that's actually quite smart because he could still at least get P6 out of this. If he goes faster than, well, Panda's still out there.
Panda's on wets as well.
The Panda's on wets as well.
Everyone's on wets.
Yeah,
bar Thanos.
Yeah, Thanos is still trying on the inside, but surely he's going to have to give up. It's just not. There's too much water on the track right now. What I think this is, though, I think getting those inter tyres in laps in quick, though. Joe obviously I think has got pole.
Oh, that's Freddy boy gone into the wall.
Oh dear. Oh, and fortunately he ghosted just before Matty came.
Thank God for ghosting.
Praise the Lord. Yes, indeed. Matty was on an out lap, so it's not like he ruined his lap, but yeah, that was a scary moment. But yeah, I think Joe's pole position is pretty much secured at this point. And I think Pete's going to get his first front row start as well. He's got that lap in when he needed it, 53.9. So it is 2 seconds off of Joe, but it's going to be good enough.
I don't think Matty's even going to get to the line in time.
No, I don't think he will. Panda is going to get on there. Now I think the question. Let's see what his time is. He could still beat Richard. I think that will probably be his best aim here on these wet tyres. He has got McLaren going into the pits. I think Thanos is definitely throwing in the towel now. As he comes across the line, Panda, yes, he goes P5. So he does manage to at least get into the top 5 on the wets. And you're absolutely right about Matty. He's out of time. Unless the timing has made a mistake, which it can do. No.
Yep, no.
He's out. And Killian's out. That means FB Richard is going to start this race from P6 on the grid. That's pretty good going, I would say, for the Ferrari driver. Panda P5, Freddy Boy P4, Thanos P3. Like I said, though, Pete on the front row for Alfa Romeo. That's a great result for him, because he's usually towards the back.
Panda's up on his time again as well, by the way.
Yes, he is. He's a 10th up. But I think he'd have to go some to beat Freddy Boy's time on the intermediate side. I don't think he will. Richard is out there as well. I don't think he's up on his time though. Just having a look at the Discord chat, and Killian is not happy by the fact that he's going to be starting behind Richard. And yes, and that's why you practice in the rain as well as, yeah, that's absolutely right.
Panda locks up.
Yep. So he is slightly up on his start, not going to be improving his position, but perhaps just getting a bit of wet weather practice in just in case. Ooh, a bit of a slide as well, just in case it does rain in the race. I don't know if it's going to. We haven't been told. But
means I'm probably going to have to practice for that Christmas Cup in the rain as well, as a precaution.
Yeah, we got Freddy Boy in the Discord saying he never thought he'd ever be disappointed with P4, but yeah, in all honesty, Freddy Boy, I think if his lap had been better, I think he could have been.
Panda improves, but only by like a second.
Not even that, only a tenth and a bit. Yeah, like I said, these just conditions. The four in front, just by being on the intermediate tyres at the right time, have benefited massively. And it means, yeah, because their times are just untouchable in these conditions. As Richard retires, and well, yeah, that's over. It's a valiant P6 for Richard, I have to say. And yeah, he's starting ahead of championship leader Killian, which is not something I expected. But there you have it. This qualifying has ended in chaos because of the rain. Joe takes pole position once again. It's a front row start for Pete, I think his first ever. Thanos starts third, Freddy Boy fourth, Panda fifth, Richard sixth, Killian seventh, and Matty eighth. Well, this is a very mixed up grid, as the rain does often provide. Yeah, Killian does not look happy. at all. He just, there's frustration in that Mercedes garage, and honestly, when you're frustrated, that's going to lead to more mistakes. So he really needs to try and get a hold of his temper. So it does look dry at the very least. So it looks as though we're going to be starting on dries. Now, of course, because they did do dry qualifying in Q2, they will still have to start on the tyres that they qualified on, which does mean softs for Richard and Ninja and Southern Ping. Everyone else on the mediums. So it'll be interesting to see what Richard can do on those softs then at the start. They usually give a better start off the line, so we'll see what that Ferrari can do.
9:02.
9:02, so 5 minutes.
Is when we go.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Yeah, the spares didn't get back in the lobby, look.
No, he didn't. That's a shame. That is a shame. I would have liked to have seen him. But unfortunately, it does mean he will not be taking part unless he, well, I assume his car will still be there, but who knows.
Free boy just put in the Discord, a two-stop is quicker, okay.
I actually think it is quicker, but the problem you would have is you would have to do overtaking, which is nigh on impossible at Singapore. But if you were able to run completely free, clean air the whole race, two-stop probably is faster. But just the fact that you would have to overtake, which, as I said, you can't do it. There's only one place you can really do it, and that's providing
DRS straight.
Yeah, exactly, and that's
DRS straights.
And that's providing the other car doesn't have DRS on another car. So just by that, the one stop is the safer bet for certain. But I have seen the two stop.
He also put in the Discord, this game is the definition of stupid. And then Brad put stupid as the understatement.
I'm actually going to write to them and I'll say, I do think. Yeah, I just thought I'd make my point clear because I have seen when I raced here in F1 XL on a Sunday, which is the one I do, a guy that I'm racing in the championship in there did do a two-stop and only finished a little bit behind me doing the one-stop. It is possible to make it work, but you would have to be really, really lucky not get stuck in a DRS train. And
it's the battle for. It's not the battle for first. It's the battle for the front wings.
No, that's Monaco. Although this is not far off, admittedly. No. Soft hard. Boy saying soft hard is actually possible. Yes, it is, but you would have to really push those soft tires to very uncomfortable extremes on the first stint, and then the hards.
I don't know how many laps it is around here on 50%.
It's 31 laps, so this is a
yeah, softs. You'd have to do like at least 10 to 12 laps, I think.
You could probably get away with maybe more 8 or 9, but even then, that's really not as far as you don't want to be on the softs for more than 6 laps, in all honesty. Which is why I'm expecting.
To be fair, the hards can go 35 laps,
but
they can go 25 laps.
The problem is the hards are not actually a very good tire here, but they're kind of like a necessity tire. Like you have to take the pain of being on the slow rubber. And that's why I think like the two-stop is probably quicker in simulations. That's why it's saying to people that the two-stop is quick. But just the fact that the overtaking is just so almost non-existent here, it's just the one-stop is definitely the safer, and that's why everyone is on the medium tyres. And that's of course not taking into consideration safety cars. Safety cars will completely change the complexion of this race for better or worse. So, yeah.
Which we're more than likely to get.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if there isn't at least a virtual safety car. There has to be at least one tonight. Someone is going in the wall. I'm not going to say who I think it is, because honestly I don't know.
See, Bonds gets free tyre choice, didn't he? Because he's finished outside the top 10.
Yes, Bradford is the highest placed driver who will get the free tyre choice. He's starting 11th, of course. So be interested to see what he
Basically,
can do.
anyone from 10th down can start on like the tyres they want.
11th, I think it is.
And I have,
Yeah.
but I think everyone might go for hards at the start.
We'll wait and see what they do, but we'll find out in a minute's time. As for what they're starting, maybe we'll see some hard tyres starting on, but I don't know. We could see we could see someone go aggressive, maybe starting on the soft tyres just to get some positions done if they maybe feel like they're a bit low. And yeah, I think we've got the call to Lego from Ramsey, so we should be readying up shortly.
God damn it, Hunt.
I love Lego.
I used to. My dad does.
I haven't played with it in ages, I should say, but if someone told me I had to go play with Lego...
Oh,
yeah,
my dad has loads of them. He's built quite a few of them, to be fair.
Oh, I like to play with Legos. Right, so let's see what we got. So obviously the top 5 all on mediums. Richard's starting on the softs in 6th. Could be one to watch at the start. Then we've got Killian and Matty on the mediums, 7th and 8th. Killian not happy with his position at all. We're interested to see what an angry Killian will look like. Matty got nothing to lose really from 8th. Then Ninjas and Ping, they obviously crashed out in Q2. They're starting on the softs, 9th and 10th. Then outside the top 10, everyone on mediums except for Bonds. He's the only one that's going different. He's starting on the hard compound tyres in 15th place. Going differently, going to go longer than anyone else in this race. Maybe hope for a late...
Oh, the Spurs is actually here. Like, his AI is here.
Yeah, his car's here. So if his internet does miraculously suddenly turn back on, he can rejoin. But and then of course the other question mark is AMS Cole, who, as we heard, disqualified himself on purpose to start last, and is clearly seeking a challenge. So, well, there's no bigger challenge really than starting Singapore in last place. If he can get if he gets a podium from this today, he's definitely going to be my driver of the day. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Despair saying his internet is not back on. That is gutting. It does mean I think we're only going to get 16 drivers today. I don't think Despair is going to be with us.
Is there a graveyard option emoji?
If not emoji, I can probably hang on. There we go. It's not an emoji, but I can give you a GIF. So they're just coming around the final sector. Oh, as Josie's had a big moment on the formation, which would have been or was it just him lagging? I'm not quite sure which it is.
That's a better one.
Yes, that's much better. Because that's literally what we're going to be like when we see someone crash here today. We can say, "Oh, what a shame!" So they're just coming around to form up the grid now. As Panda's done something to get disqualified. I don't think that'll affect him too badly because he was kind of mostly around the lap anyway. As long as he was doing his tyre heating fine, should be all right. So Joe starting on pole. Be interested to see what Richard can do from 6th. He's usually been on the outskirts of points. Did score a point in Belgium, if my memory serves me correctly. What can he do from 6th on the grid? He must have a nosebleed being that high as Cole slots in at the back. Let's see what he can do as well.
And apparently we're on lap 2 already.
Yeah, it does. It just ignore that. It does that for some reason. So 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And the SVOR Grand Prix is underway. I think Joe's got a good start off the line. Not sure about Pete though. No, Pete has not got a good start. Thanos and Freddie going through. Panda. Oh, clipped by Panda. Oh, Pete's not going to be happy about that. I think Panda was a bit rude with his overtake there. He resets the track. Pete has dropped down. That is gutting.
Who resets the track?
Pete did, I think.
Record it.
Okay. Record the last 30 seconds of that. I can
that is an instant penalty.
instant penalty. It looked like it was a track reset anyway.
I'd have a look.
Yeah, well, I
side of it.
as Matty's
in.
dropping down. Matty's dropping down. He's down to 13. What on earth has happened to Matty? He's behind Despair's Ghost, who has made up some great positions off the line. Just a shame Despair's not in it. Matty takes back P12, but Matty lost a few positions there. Bradford is up to 8.
Killian's up to P4 already.
Yeah, that's a great start by Killian. Needs a good start, of course. As Pete retires.
Safety car.
Safety car deployed. Safety car deployed. Now that is at the former Singapore Sling. So.
That's a 5-second time penalty for Southern Ping because he collided with Pete.
So maybe that's what caused it then. And Ping does have his front wing completely missing. So I think there's definitely been an altercation between Ping and Pete there. So the safety car is in. Now, I'm interested to see what people do here. Will Ninja and Richard maybe come in to shed the soft tyres? They could theoretically do a medium strategy. So we'll see what they
can easily do 30 laps on the hards to be.
Ooh, that would be a push, in all honesty. Maybe something that they could be worth trying, but we don't know. Is Richard coming in?
Pen.
Yes, he is. As is Ninjas. Both drivers coming in. So taking my advice and shodding the rather useless using
mediums for McLaren and mediums for Richard as well.
Yep, so 2-stop strategy. Probably going to do medium to medium, which probably could work from here.
Paper Stream's going on the hards.
Ooh, now that is a bold call. We'll have to wait and see what he can do with those hard tyres. Oh, as the time screen's glitching up a little bit.
Yeah, it's annoying.
I do feel bad for Pete, in all honesty. I think Panda was a bit aggressive with his lunge into turn 1 and he clipped Pete's wheel. I understand the frustration, even if you're not really supposed to reset the track. He must have been absolutely irritated at that point. So I think we're just waiting for a few more drivers to reset the time screen. I think Ping is the last one, and then it should reset properly. Yeah, that was a chaotic start though.
He's going on hards, by the way. Southern Ping.
So he's going to go onto the hard sides as well. Get his front wing changed. And he's also served his 5-second penalty as well by pitting there. So it's kind of a non-penalty when you think of it in that sense. Because he kind of he had to pit for front wing anyway. So, now that the time is screen, I'm just going to have a look at the position changes. The biggest gain is well, Bond just gained 7 positions. From 15th up to 8th on those hard tyres. So that's a good run for him. Bradford and Ramsey both up 5 positions. Bradford's up to P6 from 11th. Cole has made a few gains, but not too many. He's up 5 positions, but I think everyone behind him pits. So he hasn't actually made any positions on track. He's still behind Gangster Owl, who's 11th, behind Despair's Ghost. So we're going to get another lap of the safety car because Ping still needs to catch up. I suspect it should be in this lap though.
This is where we'd get DRS though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, this would be the lap we get it, but we're going to have to wait another 2 laps after. So it is Joe leading.
3 laps. I think it's 3 laps after.
Yes, you're absolutely right, yeah. The 3rd lap after it's restarted, yeah. So it's Joe leading, Thanos 2nd, Freddy Boy up to 3rd, Killian up to 4th, Panda has stayed where he is in 5th, Bradford up to 6th, Ramsey 7th, Bonge 8th, Matty has lost a position, down to 9th. Then we've got Despair's Ghost, Gangster Owl in 11th, Cole 12th. And then of course Ninjas, Richard, Paperstream and Southern Ping. They've all pitted for one reason or another. For Ninjas and Richard, it was tactical, maybe Paperstream as well, but Southern Ping had to pit for damage. All on fresh tyres, but they've gone different ways on the strategy. Paperstream and Southern Ping on the hards, Ninjas and Richard on the medium tyres. So pretty much definitely a two-stop strategy for them. But it was worth a gamble, in all honesty. You don't want to be on those softs longer than you need to be.
Nope.
But it's definitely worth the try, but it does now relegate them down to 13th and 14th place. So, interested to see what they do once the safety car does come in, which I suspect is going to be this lap.
Yep, there we go.
Yep, safety car coming in this lap. So Joe will let it go.
Joe will stop.
Yep. Joe will start backing up the grid. Becomes the effective safety car, if you like. We'll see.
He's lagging.
Just a little bit, yeah, but doesn't look too problematic at the moment. Interested to see if Thanos can stay with him. Joe has looked, frankly, imperious so far this weekend. So we'll have to wait and see if Thanos can do anything about the Red Bull. Safety car hasn't reached the pits just yet. I think it's just going to come in. Yeah, it's just speeding into the pits now. So when will Joe go? He's gone now. Oh, and yeah, now we can go. So Joe goes, but I think Thanos has got the better restart. Thanos is side by side with Joe as they go to the first corner. Thanos brakes later, and Thanos gets him. He's into the lead, and McLaren takes the lead into the first corner. Great restart by Thanos there. I think Joe was a bit caught out by the safety car. It hadn't quite reached the pit entry, and Joe was caught out. Thanos took advantage and now leads the Grand Prix. Joe second. Freddy Boy still in third place. Got Killian chasing him down. Killian with the engine glitch, so I can't go on board with him. Then comes Panda. Then Bradford, who obviously is on the freshest tyres of anyone. Well, of those of the top six anyway. Ramsey's seventh. He's got Bonds behind him on the hard tyres. He's going on a different strategy than everyone else. Then comes Matty, who's recovering after a bad start. Joe is pressurising that McLaren though. He's going to pick off any mistake he can see, but he's got to watch in his mirrors as well. Freddy Boy is there as well, and I'll tell you what, I think this has become a lot more complicated than I think Joe wanted. I think he wanted a flag race, but he's now got a...
He won't get the Grand Slam anymore, either.
Yeah, because he's not led every lap now. Thanos has taken that away from him. As Bonge and Matty fighting over P8 and P9. Bonge is up the inside, or Matty's gone up the outside and takes P8 away from Bonge. So the Renault making some moves. He is on the quicker tyre, so he does need to get past them. He needed to get past that Ferrari. Next up the road is his teammate Ramsey, who I presume won't hold him up too much if he can get up to the back of him. As Thanos sets the fastest lap of the race, I think Freddy Boy is falling away from the top two a little bit. Killian pressurising the racing point for P3. But of course, no DRS yet, not till the next lap. That's going to make overtaking not impossible, but trickier. I still can't go on board with Killian because he's revving the nuts off that Mercedes. Is Killian going to go for a move? No DRS. He's better off waiting and being patient. Joe's still stuck behind Thanos as well. We'll wait and see if that changes when the DRS activates next lap. But for now, they're holding station. Tell you what, Bradford's looking pretty good at the moment as well. He's keeping with Panda, pressurising him for P5. Those are the main battles as we got Cole taking P10 away from Despairs Go. So Cole into the points. Did also get past Gangster out at some point. I didn't see where, but he is now into the points. So looking good for Cole as he goes from his back of the grid start. It's all a bit cagey at the moment. When the DRS activates, though, I think that's when we're going to see if the overtakes can happen. Because Thanos is being pressured by Joe. We got our first...
Ramsey with a 3.
Yeah, first time penalty for Ramsey. The first of many, I fear, for these drivers. We'll wait and see how many these other guys get. Coming around the final corner, and Matty gets
with
one.
A 3 second.
Yeah. Renault's...
DRS enabled. Yellow flag in sector 3.
It's Gangster out.
Oh, that's Ninjas and Gangster out.
Yeah, Gangster Out's in the wall. I think Ninjas was a bit caught out by it. I think he got away with it, damage-wise. But here we go then. Onto the main straight we go. Joe is firmly in Thanos' DRS. Is he going to go for a move? He's gaining. Thanos goes defensive on the inside. Joe's going to try and go around the outside. But no, he's been forced off track. Thanos keeps it. Meanwhile, Freddy Boy and Killian fighting out as well. Killian's got the outside. Oh, he's got a darn good move by Killian. Very good move.
Freddy backed out a little bit, which I give him credit for.
Yeah, because that could have ended very badly.
That could have ended really badly.
I do sometimes say on a track, especially a street circuit like this, it's just as impressive.
Especially when it's so tight.
An overtake requires skill from the person being overtaken as well. You know, the good mindset to know, okay, I've got to leave this much space for the guy, he is coming through. Because sometimes you don't get that with drivers. But that was good awareness by Freddie to do that. Does seem to be struggling a little bit. Panda's now right on the back of him. Bradford keeping with these guys
Joe
as well.
goes deep.
Yeah, very deep. He's still chasing Thanos, who...
I think he lagged, actually.
It might have been a lag, yeah.
Because he's one barring. Bond with a 3-second time penalty.
God
damn it, Bond.
God damn it, Bond. He's the next one with the penalty. So Thanos was very resolute with his defence. He near enough pretty much forced Joe off track. So I wonder if Joe might be a little bit more aggressive with his attack this time in response. They're coming to the DRS straight again. Oh, Freddy Boy's in the wall! Freddy Boy's in the wall! What on earth's happened there? It's a retirement for Freddy Boy at the virtual safety car deployed as well.
Oh my god.
It's a huge crash at turn 3. Same place Esteban Ocon lost it incidentally as well, where Perez basically forced him off track. And Ninjas is taking advantage of this virtual safety car to make some repairs to his wing. It also let Thanos off the hook as well, because I think Joe was probably going to go for another overtake, but obviously the VSC put a stop to it. It moves Panda up to 4th, Bradford up to 5th. Then we've got the two Renaults, Randy and Matty, 6th and 7th. Cole's now 8th, Bond's 9th.
Panda with a drive-through penalty.
Oh! That is big news then. Panda running P4, didn't get the delta right on the VSC. Drive-through penalty for the Williams. And I think, Joe's going for a move on Thanos. I think Joe had the better VSC restart. They're side by side as they come towards this corner, but Thanos has the inside line. He gets back ahead. They're fighting tooth and nail for that lead. Great racing from the both of them though, but I think Thanos got away lucky there. Freddy Boy, sadly. Freddy Boy saying, "What in fuckity fuck just happened in this?" I love his way of working.
I don't even know what happened either.
Off the cod he goes. That's unfortunate. So Panda's not pitting just yet. So he's going to hold this out. Bradford's going to be patient, I assume. Although, no, he's not going to be patient. I don't think Panda really thought that 2-1. Oh, yes, he did.
Oh.
Bit of contact between them. And he's... Oh, hang on. This looks a bit messy here. That was rather scruffy driving from Panda there, I felt. But, fortunately, nothing came of it. So Bradford now up to 4th. And don't forget, he started on fresh sock mediums. So his tyres will be...
Holds up to P8, by the way.
Yeah, he's had a great start from 70 on the grid.
Now, make that P7.
P7, yes, he's just got past Matty.
Panda gets a 3-second time penalty.
That's not going to help his race any bit. Not at all. He's already dropping off of Bradford, who looks fairly comfortable at the moment. In a good P4. Oh, yellow flag, Panda's out. Safety car deployed. Now, what on earth has happened there? He's lost it at the Singapore Sling. Virtual safety car deployed again. What on earth has happened there to Panda? Because unlike with the incident involving Ping and Pete, he wasn't near anyone at the time. He must have just got it wrong or something. That's what I assume anyway. Moves Ramsey up to P5. Cole's now P6 because of that. Well, he would have been there anyway because of his drive-through penalty. Now Richard gets one. Oh, Richard, unlucky, my friend. this Delta can be a bit funny to work around, it has to be said, but it's still possible to avoid getting penalties, and unfortunately Richard hasn't done it that time. That's unfortunate.
Cole's about to get a jump on Ramsey.
Yeah, he's going up the inside of the pit straight.
Ramsey's got damage though. Ramsey's got damage.
Yeah, doesn't fight that one too hard. Perhaps knows it's not point. I think Ramsey must just be holding off for his mandatory pit stop. His pace hasn't looked terrible, admittedly. So I think he's just trying to hang on there. Bonds. So these three drivers all have penalties. Ramsey, Matty and Bonds. They're all very close to each other on track. Bonds, of course, still on the hard compound tyres as well. So expect him to go longer than anyone else as well.
Rich serve his drive-through. Yeah, he did.
Yes, he came into the pits and he's serving his drive-through penalty. He will come out still P12, although Ninjas will be a bit closer to him than before.
Tell you what, Thanos is doing very well to hold off Joe.
Yeah, he's showing off some very good defensive driving, but Joe, I think, is going to go for another move. He's going to go around the outside. Thanos defends on the inside. Is Joe going to go for a switchback, though? He's now going to have the inside line. He comes to the next corner. Thanos squeezing as much as he dares. Oh, breaks a bit later.
That is good race. That is good racing.
That is very good defensive driving from Thanos. Very good indeed. Knew that Joe would have the inside line, so he braked a little later. And he's still just holding on to the lead. And Joe...
That's got to... Joe gets a 3-second.
I think that could be frustration showing for the Red Bull then. I think he is the faster driver, but he just cannot find a way past that McLaren, who is making his car as wide as possible. Bit of frustration.
Pretty much making it a Hummer.
Near enough. As Cole now sets fastest lap of the race, he's in clear air, of course. As Ramsey gets another time penalty as well. Matty's into the pits.
Oh, that's a bit of a squirmy moment from Brad.
Yeah, still going though.
Put the power down a little bit too early.
Yeah, as Joe's not able to get past Thanos on this occasion. Still wasn't able.
Matty pits.
Yeah, he's onto the hard compound tyres. That probably will see him to the end. Maybe just wanted to get out of the way. Maybe he had some damage to fix. I didn't actually see if he did or not. But Joe's time penalty is definitely going to come back to haunt.
Don't forget, Despairs' AI will get moved down. So people in 9th, 10th will get moved up, and 11th will get moved up.
So currently Ping is currently P8, Paperstream P9, Matty is currently P10. So yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Joe still cannot find a way past that McLaren. But what I find interesting, Killian is not really making any inroads on either driver. So I think Thanos' pace
biding his time.
Maybe biding his time.
Biding his time.
Potentially.
Gangs at L5 second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, he's not having a good time of it, is the Haas driver. He's into the pits again. As we
Thanos pits.
Yeah. That's a little early.
Probably doing the undercut. So is Killian pitting as well.
To be fair,
they're doing the undercut.
Yeah, to be fair, they might get a good gap here because they've got Bonds and Ramsey coming through, and they're going to go.
Brad pits as well.
Yeah, I think Brad's going to get a decent gap as well here. Because if
Bonds gets past Ramsey.
Because if we look, Bonds has passed Ramsey for P3, but yeah, Thanos and Killian have found themselves in a very.
Cole is up to P2.
Yeah, Cole is now P2. He does, of course, still have to stop, but that is still a very, very strong opening stint for Cole. Joe's still yet to pit. I think he wants a bit of clear air, to be honest. Maybe he thinks he can do an overcut now that Thanos is effectively out of his way. But yeah, 9-second gap between Thanos and Ramsey. Bonds might be a bit more interesting, though, because obviously Bonds going longer on those hard tyres, so we don't know when he's going to come into the pits. Well, I presume it's going to be maybe sort of lap 19.
Lap 29, probably. Not 29, lap 25 or so.
Bradford hasn't been as lucky. He has found... Oh, as Southern Pink hits the wall. He's found himself behind Southern Pink, who very graciously, I think, lets him go. Perhaps just didn't want to get into a fight. So he's now got Despairs Ghost ahead of him. That's not going to bother him too much. So he's about 5 seconds off of Killian and Thanos.
AI is on the lowest difficulty anyway, so...
Is it? I felt like Despair's been running fairly well, to be brutally honest. But maybe I just haven't noticed it. Yeah, Joe's in. That does mean, because I think Cole's going to go on. Yes, he does. Cole is now going to lead this Grand Prix from last on the grid, and sets the fastest lap at the same time as well. Now, will Bonds get ahead of Joe? I think he will do. Yes, he will. Here comes Ramsey as well. Yeah, Ramsey's going to be ahead as well. So Ramsey moves up to P3. So they're going longer than the guys behind. I mean, I think they'd really like a safety car now, because that would really help their races.
Thanos gets past him as well.
Yes. Oh, now that is not going to please Joe. I think he stayed out longer to try and avoid that.
And that's a yellow flag.
Ninjas is in the wall.
Yeah. At the bridge section.
Yeah, I think he's got away with it though. I think he's still going.
Lost part of his front wing though.
But yeah, that is not going to please Joe.
That's Gangster out into the wall.
Gangster's into the wall as well. He is just not having a good time today, is he? But I think Joe was hoping that he might have been able to overcut Vanos there, but nope, not to be. Vanos still net race leader then.
Gangster Al just hit the wall again.
Oh dear, and he gets out of the way of Thanos and Joe, quite rightly. He's got Killian behind him as well. He stays out of the way of. Well, he ghosts anyway. So Cole is your race leader for now, but yet to stop. Bond as Joe and Thanos fighting again. Thanos goes deep. Joe's going up the inside. I think he'll have him this time, unless Thanos gets very aggressive here. He's trying. Oh, contact made. He is being as aggressive, very aggressive here. Surely not too wide here. No, it's not. Oh, I knew that was going to end bad. I knew that would end in tears. You can never go too wide there. And Thanos has learnt the hard way. That is not the way to do it.
And he's going to have to pit now as well.
Yeah, his wing is badly damaged, and Bradford is right behind him now as well. Interestingly, I've just noticed Bradford's gone onto another set of medium tyres.
He's doing medium soft.
Yeah, that's a two-stop strategy locked in for Bradford there. He will be quick on this stint though. He has been catching. Well, I don't know if he has been catching, but that's frustrating for Thanos. But unfortunately, you cannot as Gangster Al.
That means let Joe, Killian, and Brad are in the podium positions, in provisional podiums.
Yes,
at the moment.
Yes, for now. But obviously Bradford doing the two-stop strategy, so he will have to. Cole and Bonds actually could be a factor in this race still. We'll have to wait and see where they come out when they do eventually pit. But we know Bradford has to stop again. Whereas Cole and Bonds will probably go for the one-stop strategy. But as it stands, you're absolutely right. Bradford is net P3.
Actually, no. No, actually, because Bond would Southern Ping just retired that. Virtual safety car.
Virtual safety car deployed. This is starting to become a bit of a...
Oh. Where was that?
Now, crucially as well, I wonder...
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was at, just at the end of Sector 1. And crucially, Cole is pitting. He's going to take advantage of the VSC, which is absolutely the right thing to do here. I presume it's going to be hard tyres that go on. Yeah, so... Yeah, he'll lose a little bit of time here, but I think this was the right call by... I think he had to get off those mediums in one way or another. Now, where's he going to come out? Bonds will now take the lead in the Grand Prix on the hard tyres. Here comes Joe. And Cole's going to come out P4. He's ahead of Bradford. Because Bradford's in.
Bradford pits.
I think he must have damage on that Alpha Tower. I did wonder why he was dropping off the pace a bit. Yeah, there's a front wing change going to happen, I think. Oh no! No front wing change. He's going on to hard tyres. So was it maybe it was a mistake to go on those medium tyres? Maybe he didn't mean to. Well, one way or another, it's taking him out of the fight for the podium. It's now looking like Cole could be on the podium here. Yeah, it's looking like Cole is on line for a podium now. And I tell you what, as the rate is going, I wouldn't he could be on for the win here. If he can get past Killian and then keep within 3 seconds of Joe, he could do this. He could do this. He's run a very, very intelligent race so far, Skull. And meanwhile, Joe has passed Bonds. I don't think Bonds really fought that one too hard. Maybe he doesn't need to, in all honesty. Running his own race. So we effectively only have 11 drivers running. Obviously, Despair's Ghost does not count.
Let Joe with another 3 second time penalty. That's 6 seconds.
That's 6 seconds. So yeah, I think
that's going to be crucial.
I mean, if
that's going to be beneficial for him.
Not beneficial.
The other guys.
Yeah. What Joe needs to really show some strong pace now. He needs to try and get that 6 second gap. We have seen he probably is, pound for pound, he probably is the quickest driver out there. With the exception of maybe Cole. We haven't really seen what Cole can do. Like, obviously, because he's gone for this challenge from the back of the grid. But if he's got some serious pace in him, now's the time to show it, as Killian gets past Bonds. Didn't make that hard at all. I think he just wants to run his own race, which is absolutely the right thing to do. Because he could be on for P4 at this rate, Bonds, because he's going to come out... I think he's going to come out P5, but Matty will be on very used hards at the end. The Bonds could be on for P4, and obviously if something happens to the top 3, you never know. Could be more than that. And it's got Cole ahead of him, but once again, Bonds happy to just get out of the way. He's running his own race, perhaps knows it's not worth fighting. Yellow flag.
Yellow flag in sector 3, I think that's Richard.
It is Richard going into the pits.
I think he broke his front wing, probably.
Yeah, that will move Ninjas up into the points. Yeah, Ninjas goes into effective P10. Thanos is P9. Some bit of a recovery drive for Thanos at the moment. Be interested to see if he can get those mediums to the end or not. Or will he have to stop again for a set of softs late on? Fastest lap of the race for Joe. Virtual safety car deployed. What's happened there?
Why is there a virtual safety car?
I'm trying to work out if anyone's had an incident. Bonds is into the pits. I wonder if this is just...
Don't blame him.
Yeah, taking advantage. Medium tyres going on. 15 laps. It will be a push, and he is serving a penalty. Is he?
Yeah, he's serving a penalty.
I guess so. But, well, it was a good time to do it, and he's going to come out P5. He's going to have to do He's going to have to do 16 laps on the mediums, which is going to be a push. But he is now very comfortably P5. Paper Stream is P6. He's got his teammate Bradford behind him. I don't think he's going to hold him up too much. As Gangstyle leaves, and yeah, as I suspected, Paper Stream keeps out of Bradford's way. Bradford now up to P6. Ramsey pits. Now I wonder if maybe he was the one that caused it, because I wonder if this is for a front wing change. Yeah, front wing change for Ramsey. So he must have been the one that caused the VSC. So Joe leads. He did set the fastest lap just before the VSC came out. So that's what he's got to do now. He's got to try and show that he has got the raw pace to win this race, because he needs to build up 6 second gap if he's going to win this race. Currently it's only 2.7, which is nowhere near enough.
And Cole and Killian are known for not getting any penalties.
Yeah, they're usually fairly good with it, aren't they? I'm just going to have a quick look at the race director. Killian is on 1 warning. Cole has none. Yeah, they are doing...
Yeah, they're very clean.
They
are very clean.
Yep, doing very well on that front. And I don't suspect they're going to be taking too many risks, knowing the penalties Joe has. Although Joe is showing some good pace, trying to pull away.
I don't think they're going to... I think they're going to be cautious because of the strict corner cutting rules.
Yeah.
It's way too strict.
As it stands, Killian would win at the moment, with Cole taking 2nd place. Joe would not fall any further than 3rd place. Matty a good 22 seconds behind the top 3. I think Matty's race.
He's catching them though. He's catching them though.
Yeah, which is interesting considering
Slowly.
he's on older tyres than both and all of them. But I think his race is definitely with Bonds behind. They both have 3 seconds worth of penalties. And Bonds will be catching him on those medium tyres, I suspect. Meanwhile, Cole is slowly closing the gap to Killian as well. Now how hard will they race each other, I wonder?
Don't know, but they're in the party. They're probably in a party together, knowing them, along with Thanos.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I suspect the AMS guys usually would party up. And that's nothing against them, you know. If you're in a team, you would do that. But yeah, Killian has pulled a little bit back in Sector 3. Perhaps reacting.
To be fair, I used to be in a party with Richard Bonds and all that when I was in the league that no one gives a shit about.
For me, usually, the two leagues I run in, I usually just prefer to be in a party with every racer that's there if they want to be in it. For me, I just like.
I can't have too many. I had to have a certain amount, otherwise, like, it's just too much. It's too loud otherwise.
I find that if I'm really concentrating, I can usually block it out. But usually, the leagues I'm in, they're usually pretty good. Once the racing starts, you won't usually get too much silliness. So, but yeah, I get that though. Yeah, I get that some people just cannot deal with it. And Cole is now, speaking of not being able to deal with it, Cole is now in DRS range of Killian. So
one more DRS straight to come, haven't we?
Yeah, so he's going to get DRS here. I think I think Joe wants these two to fight. If they start fighting, it might just help him pull out that gap. He has been slowly creeping away from Killian. Gap's now 3.3 seconds. Still, so he's about halfway from what he needs. 6 seconds is the gap he needs. But you suspect if Cole can get past Killian, he might just make that a bit trickier for Joe. Because I do think around this track, Cole looks to be the quicker AMS driver. Killian just has not looked quite as comfortable as Cole all weekend. And
as Cole sets the fastest lap with a 1:39.4.
Exactly what I said. If Cole can get past Killian, he's going to make Joe's life a living hell up front. But can he get past the Mercedes? We know Killian will not give this up. At least I don't think he will. Ooh, lock up for Cole though. Now, DRS will be activated on that Williams. But he's not going to be close enough on this attempt. No, not close enough. So just have to bide his time. That is the closest battle on track. Everyone else is rather spaced out, although Bonds is closing in on Matty, as I said he would do. So that battle could get interesting in a few laps' time. The real question though is, can Bonds take those mediums to the end? I feel like 16 laps is a very big ask for tyres that I normally wouldn't.
It's doable.
It's doable. But normally I wouldn't really go past 12.
To be fair, Bonds is really good on his tyre management. So
I think in fact, thinking about it, I think it's less a case of will the tyres go to the end, because I think the tyre wear isn't actually the problem here. I think it's more a case of how much time how bad will his time get towards the end, because I think it's similar to Abu Dhabi in that the tyres go off in terms of speed quite quickly. But we'll wait and see. We'll see what Bonds can do. For now, he is closing in very nicely on AMS Massey, who, well, you said he was catching Cole and Killian. I don't think he is anymore. It's now down to 28 seconds.
Nice.
So I think he's very much thinking about the driver behind rather than the drivers ahead.
Killian getting DRS assistance of ninjas.
Yeah, that will not please Cole, but that's the rules. If you're lapping a driver and you hit that detection zone, you do get the DRS. You won't get it here though. But Cole, I don't think is close enough again. I think he's going to have to wait another lap. All the while, Joe is getting slowly a bit further ahead of Killian. Not by much.
11 laps to go.
11 laps to go. If it keeps going at this rate, I think it could be quite close between Joe and Killian. We still don't know if Cole is going to start getting involved with Killian. I assume so, but wait and see. I have seen things that happen. As Thanos, meanwhile, has just passed Bradford, who's into the pits again. So I wonder if that's
Going
more
on the softs.
and the front wing
changing his front wing. Yeah.
Ooh, that's 12 laps he's going for on the softs there. That's bold, cool. I would not want to do 12 laps on the softs.
Killian locks up.
Just seems to have gone bad from worse to Bradford. He was running a very strong position, but it's just all fallen apart for the AlphaTauri driver.
Has Joe got any more warnings actually?
Let's have a look. No, it's still on 6 seconds of penalties. Let's have a look. I'll have a look at his race director for you.
If he's got any more warnings?
No, he's had some invalidated lap times.
Thanos.
But no warnings.
3-second time penalty for Thanos.
Thanos down in, well, he's 21 seconds. I think he's rather all on his own at the moment, so I don't think that's going to hurt him too much. He's a good 21 seconds behind Bond, who meanwhile is really starting to close in on Matty. He's now down to 2 seconds. So that battle's going to get very heated.
Cole's past Killian.
Oh, down the DRS straight. Cole gets past. Good move. And he needed to do that as well because the gap had just extended to 4 seconds. And now,
Bond with another 3-second time penalty. God damn it, Bond.
God damn it, Bond, who will now have to definitely get past Matty and start pulling away from him. Now we'll see just what Cole can do in clear air. Gap is 4.2 seconds between him and Joe. But the question is, can he keep in that 6-second window, or will Joe react to it? Wait and see. But as I suspected, Killian just does not seem to have the pace that the top two have. I think he may...
Andy with the 3 seconds.
Yeah, so he's on 9 seconds now, but currently would still hold on to that P9 position because Despair is still in the points. So currently he would be P9 at the moment, and Ninjas would be P10. It has turned into a bit of an attritional race because we've had 5 drivers retire and 1 driver not even start. And the question is, do we have any other surprises yet to come? And Cole has gone a little faster than Joe on that lap. Gap's now 4.1 seconds. This is what I was saying. I think Joe really wanted Killian to keep Cole behind him a little longer. I feel like Cole can match Joe for out and out pace. Wait and see. Meanwhile, battle for P4 is now officially on. Bonds is right behind Matty on those medium tyres. He's got 1 more penalty though, so he does need to get this move done and fast. Let's see what the new Ferrari driver can do. Oh, he's gone a bit deep into turn 4 there though. Still going to go for this though. Still going for this. Still closing. Is he going to go for it? No, he thinks better of it. Probably a wise thing to do. Be patient. We'll have another crack at it. Just don't get that turn 5. I think it was actually turn 5. Don't get that turn 5 corner wrong next time.
Bradford sets the fastest lap.
Yeah.
Which is understandable. He's on softs.
Yeah, down in P8, catching back up to his teammate, but I don't know if he's going to be able to take those softs to the end, you know, because I wouldn't push those softs past lap 6 or 7 myself. We'll have to wait and see what he's facing.
Killian's out of DRS range now.
Indeed he is. So, and he's about 5 seconds now off of Joe. So I don't know about Cole, but Killian is definitely in danger of losing a position here, because Joe, I think, is going to do enough to definitely deal with Killian. Cole, though, I think might just be able to keep that 4-second gap pretty stable at the moment, is what it's staying at. They look to be very evenly matched on pace. Meanwhile, Bonds getting close to Matty down the pit straight.
And Matty gets another 3 seconds.
And that means it's now completely game on. There's no worries of penalties now. If Bond can get past, he will be P4. And I just wonder if he's been buoyed by that, because he's taken that
Brad
corner
gets
much
3
better.
seconds.
Yeah, he's already clear of paper stream. And Bond, yeah, goes up the inside. Matty, I think, knew it was coming. Didn't fight it too hard. And Bond's a bit of a lock-up, but he has got the position done. He moves into P4. He is 35 seconds off the podium, so unless one of those top 3 retire, that is probably as high as he's going. But he started 15th though, so he's still run a very strong race as Bonds. As
Brad pits again.
Brad pits again. Is that more damage on the Alpha Tauri?
Yep. Yeah, it is.
It is indeed. Front wing change though, pushing too hard, I think. And it's medium size. He's going to run out of tyres at this rate. So it moves Ramsey up into effective P8. Because obviously Despair is a non-factor in this race. Paperstream is now P7, but he's gone 20 laps on those hard tyres. They must be feeling the strain at this point. Still, Paperstream in a position to
be fair,
4 points. Go.
Joe and Killian have done 12 laps, the same with Matty.
Yeah, Cole was on the freshest tyres of anyone. In fact, I think it's quite impressive that Joe is matching Cole's pace when he's on older tyres. If anything, he's actually pulled a little bit ahead. But I feel like he just can't quite find that little bit more he needs to pull the 6-second gap on Cole.
No.
At the moment,
7 laps to go.
Yeah, 7 laps to go. Despair's Ghost is right behind Paperstream. That's the closest quote-unquote battle on track. We do also have Ninjas not far off of Bradford, who obviously is just pitted. Yeah, at the moment, as Paperstream goes wide, at the final corner, Despair's Ghost takes P7 off of him. Are you sure that AI is at the lowest level?
Yeah, it is.
Because that doesn't.
I'm aware.
Yeah, because that doesn't look like a very low AI level. That looks like it's actually driving very competently, relatively speaking, anyway. It doesn't matter either way. He's still. It's not going to affect the race one way or another, but it's just funny to see. I tell you what, Killian has not given up. He has got just back into DRS range of Cole, although I think he has just dropped back out of it. But he's not giving up on that potential P2. If he can stay within 6 seconds, he will still get it. And he has seemingly upped his pace. Let's have a look.
Still getting thingy from Cole though to help him pull him along.
Indeed. Doing alright. He is doing okay so far. Joe still out in front on his own. That 4-second gap though, staying fairly consistent.
Killian with the 3 seconds.
Oh, now that's interesting. I thought he was only on 1 warning. He's now on, and what that does, that takes the pressure off Joe a little bit now, because it's now Killian is almost taking him out of the fight for P2 now. I think he's pretty much locked himself into P3 with that. So Joe will now only have to worry about Cole, but I don't think he's going to get that 6-second gap. He's just got to try and keep pushing while avoiding getting any more penalties. Especially now that he must see that, because obviously you can see the penalties now. So he'll know that Killian is out of the equation now. It's just a case of whether he can get the jump on Cole or not, but as it stands, that 4-second gap still staying consistent. Further back, Bond still pulling away from Matty, although 40 seconds a gap between the top 3 and Bond, so He is very much locked in the P4, but Matty, at the same token though, Matty is very comfortably ahead of Thanos, who in turn is very comfortably ahead of Despair's Ghost. So they are very, very spread out around this track. There's not a lot of on-track racing going on, I'm afraid. But yeah, unfortunately, this doesn't seem to be a.
And Killian got DRS off of the Ghost of Despairs.
The Ghost of Despair strikes again. I'm sure Killian will thank him for that, but at the moment he has dropped off of Killian again. At this rate, the penalty may not even matter. He may have dropped out of that six. He's almost out of that 6-second window anyway. He just doesn't seem to be able to switch it on the same way Cole and Joe can switch it on when they need to. And as it stands, Cole is going to take the victory here. We're on to lap 27, so 4 laps to go after this one.
That's Ramsey with another 3 seconds.
Yeah, now that one could hurt him as well, because Bradford...
And Brad with another 3 seconds.
Well, I was just about to say, Bradford only 6 seconds behind. Now Bradford will have to get into within 6 seconds, but he is on a fresher set of medium tyres.
Oh, Ramsey's on 12 seconds though, by the way.
Yeah, Ramsey's on... Yeah, that's what I was saying. Ramsey's on 12 seconds, so... Oh, and he's actually had a spin. Ramsey has had a moment and has lost his front wing.
He's lost his... Yeah.
So it's
Ninjas with another 3 seconds.
It goes from bad to worse.
Rich and Paperstream and Cole are the only ones on the track not to have a penalty.
Yeah, to be fair, they've done very well. I mean, I know they've had their own separate struggles, apart from Cole, who's run very smart. But I think they're doing very well just to keep the sheet clean in that sense. And now, yeah, Killian is just about falling out of that 6-second window. That is no longer a factor anyway. And I'll tell you what, Cole has actually dropped a little bit of time off Joe as well. Gap's now 4.5 seconds, so Joe's found a little bit of pace in that lap. This is not over yet. 4 laps to go. Joe leads, 4.5 second gap. He has 6 seconds worth of penalties. So he needs to find another 1.5 seconds if he is going to win this Grand Prix, or hope that Cole gets a penalty. But having a look at his race director, he still is yet to even have a single warning. So I would not expect, if I was Joe, I wouldn't rely on Cole getting a penalty, because it doesn't seem to be happening.
Gets another 3 seconds.
Oh, now that's interesting, because Matty is within 3 seconds of Bond, so he... I did wonder about those medium tyres. I just wonder if they are starting to lose their pace, because he's been on them 10 laps now. Usually you would only be going 12 laps on the mediums at most. Obviously we saw some guys, and in fact he's into the pits. Bond is into the pits. I don't think this is a bad idea actually, because I think he was going to lose the position to Matty anyway, and now he can get a fresh set of softs on and go to the end on those. He's going to still be ahead of Thanos. I think this is a smart call from Bonds here.
Possibly go for fastest lap as well.
Exactly, yeah, which he can get because he's in the top 10. Thanos is just coming around the chicane towards the final corner he comes. And yeah,
Anti-pit as well.
Yes, he did. So Bonds has just come out of the pits now. He will have to push because what's the gap between them as Thanos comes to lap? Yeah, 4.3 seconds the gap. So, and he's got 6 more seconds than Thanos worth of penalties. So he'll have to push to make sure he doesn't drop a position. That being said, Thanos is on very old mediums as well. So I suspect he can probably get that gap down. So I think this was a smart call from Bonds to do this. So we'll keep an eye on his progress. Meanwhile, Killian is dropping further off of Cole. Now almost 2 seconds off him. I think he is very much settling for third here tonight. Which, to be fair, after the disastrous qualifying, I think he'll probably take, in fairness. Meanwhile, gap between Cole and Joe still staying 4.4 seconds. So Joe found a little bit, but it's still not enough to take the victory away from Cole. We've only got 2 laps to go after this one. I think Joe's going to have to dig deep if he wants this victory. I just don't know if he's got that in him. And as I suspected, Bonds has already got the gap back up to Thanos. As long as he doesn't get another penalty, the P5 is very much his. That's, well, never mind. Thanos does that job for him. So now Bonds can go aggressive and go for a fastest lap. In fact, Thanos is into the pits. Same token, I suppose, as Bonds. He's not going to lose anything by pitting. He's 37 seconds clear of despair. So into the pits he comes. Front wing change as well,
and gets lapped as well.
Oh, that's going to hurt Thanos when he, especially when you consider he was racing Joe for the lead. How bad his race has gone since then. It is a shame for Thanos, but I still maintain he was reckless to try and go.
Oh, Killian pit as well.
Yeah, I think that's smart from Killian. He was out of the fight for P2. He's got massive 50 seconds gap to Matty. Why not? I think that's very smart by Killian, because he can go for fastest lap now as well.
He has to do it right on the last lap though.
Yeah, so he's going to have to push like hell. But yeah, smart move. He was out of the running for a second anyway. Might as well give the fastest lap an attempt. So we'll wait and see if he can do it. I think it will annoy Bonds and Thanos, who are also going for it. But we'll see how it goes, because I'm suspecting Bonds will set
with another 3 seconds.
Yes, indeed. So I suspect Bonds will set the fastest lap now. Yes, he does. 37.8. I think Thanos will be the next to do it eventually. And interesting, he's got a full bar VRS ready to deploy. I suspect Killian's going to be, well, trying to do the same sort of thing. It's interesting to note, only the top 5 are still on the lead lap now. Thanos has been lapped, and everyone else downwards has been lapped as well. I think Bonds is safe. I don't think he's going to be lapped.
No, he's too far away.
Yeah, it's fine. Matty's done a good race as well. Been solid and consistent. He's on course for P4. So Thanos starts what is effectively his last lap.
Comeback is strong after last week.
He has indeed. That is a good comeback from Matty after the disappointment of last week. So, and we're on to the final lap. I fear Joe is going to have to settle for second here, because Cole is just keeping that gap. And it does mean, of course, Cole, from 17th on the grid, is going to take the win here. So I think in terms of driver of the day, I think there's no question.
Yep.
There's no question about it. It's definitely Cole. We have to give him that. Absolutely. So the question now is who will take the fastest lap. It's probably going to be between Thanos and Killian here, because they're the ones on the soft. I suspect they'll go faster than Bonds did.
Bonds with another 3 seconds.
It literally does not matter at this stage though, because he's well, he can't fall behind Thanos because Thanos is lapped. So here we go then. Leaders are coming to the final sector. As Joe comes round, he will take the checkered flag first. Round the final corner. Crossing the line, the fireworks go off. But it will be AMS Cole that takes the win from 17th on the grid. He takes the victory at Singapore. Joe ended up 1.7 seconds behind after his penalties. Next up, I want to see what Thanos does in terms of lap time as he goes round the final corner. So he sets a 36.8. What can Killian do? Can he snatch the fastest lap point as he crosses the line? Yes, he can. 36.0.
36 dead.
So he takes P3, which is pretty much where he was going to finish anyway, and takes that extra fastest lap point as well. So that's a solid race for Killian, considering he started P7 as well. Here comes the man who started P8, AMS Massey. think he'll
I
be
think
happy.
someone spun across the line.
Yes, I think it was Bradford. Frustrating race for Bradford. He was right in the fight with the likes of Cole, Joe and Gillian, but lack of consistency and too many wing changes hurt him. Matty then will finish P4. A good drive for Matty. I think he'll be happy with that one. I think Bonds will be happy as well. He started 15th. Went on to finish P5. And yeah, I think he'll be happy with that one. Thanos 6th. Bradford will be 7th because the spare's not here. Paperstream 8th. Ninja's 9th. And it looks as though it's going to be Richard that takes the final points. Unless... Oh, Vans has got damage. And a lot of penalties. Yeah, I think it is Richard that takes the final point. And he deserved that, to be honest. After qualifying 6th. I feel that he deserved that. Yeah, driver of the AMS Colt, it really is hard to disagree with that, let's face it.
We won't have Joe in the podium interviews, by the way.
No worries, no problem. So
We've got to do a thingy for tomorrow.
So we'll just be the AMS boys, Cole and Gillian, the winner and P3 driver. Which is absolutely fair enough.
If I can find them.
Yeah. So there we have confirmation. Once the graphic ends.
You can click A, by the way.
Yeah,
Get rid of it.
I already have, yes. So it is AMS Cole that takes the victory. LET Joe won the race technically, but the penalties came back to haunt him. He has to settle for second. AMS Killian looked a little bit out of touch with the top two, but he still finishes P3 and with the fastest at that point as well. Good race from P7. Matty finishes 4th. Bonds finishes 5th from 15th on the grid. A very good drive for him. Thanos, what could have been for Thanos, he was racing for the lead with Joe, but he ends up only P6. Despair not here, so it will be Bradford that takes P7 ahead of Paperstream in P8, Ninjas P9, and SV Richard takes the final points in 10th position. And with that, I'll hand it over to, when Cole gets in.
We're waiting for Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll wait for Cole to get in, and then we'll let you do your thing. Yeah. I'll send him an invite as well, just in case. Oh.
Joe's not turning up either.
Just one
He's
driver.
got a revision. He's got a revision to do for tomorrow.
Ah.
Yeah. There he is.
Hey, there we go.
So that has been the Singapore Grand Prix, guys. Bit of a weird one, but boring. But there you go. I hate Singapore.
No two ways about that one.
We'll go on to the winner. Cole. Quali. I don't know where you qualified. Oh yeah, you started you started at the back of the grid, didn't you? You got yourself disqualified in quali. But you managed to go from last to first.
Yeah.
So, just give us a few words on how you did, and you got driver of the day as well.
Yeah. Well, originally in quali, I was betting on actually doing quali and starting last because this one this is my favourite track along with Monaco, and as we know, Monaco didn't go well for me. Let's just say that because I'm not starting any arguments. But Monaco wasn't the best. This is my second. Well, this is now my favourite track in the game. And yeah, quali was like I just put a Q1 lap in. Somehow went first because I put in the Discord server, I'm gonna start from last, and then there was a couple of people saying, oh, immediately goes P1, and then a couple of people did realise that I got disqualified by parking in a runoff area where no one would see me, so it's fine. So start last, and yeah, just kind of stayed out of trouble. I felt like I drove the best I've driven in a good while in this game as well.
Yeah, you had a cracking race from like literally last on the grid, and you managed to keep Joe, keep within the 6 second gap to Joe. So personally, the win was fully deserved. We'll have no Joe because he has got a revision to do. So we'll go straight on to third, which is Killian. Quali Q1 and 2 did alright, but Q3 was you hated the rain by the looks of it. But you still managed to come away with a podium. Just give us a few words on how you did.
Well, quali I don't even want to touch on. It was just complete and utter AIDS. That was horrible. The rain at the end of Q2 did not help at all. I was waiting on the spin halfway around the medium lap, but we got it in and it was fine. The race start was brilliant. It was just what I needed, and then getting past Freddie and just holding down P3 all race was what I needed. And good job from Cole as well, showing us that no line is quick. And it's what we need to do.
What actually happened to Freddie?
Oh,
Because we have no clue.
there is on the exit of turn 1. There's the rip of the strip on the side. It's got that big orange curb on it. If you touch that, it spins the car around. I found that out the hard way.
Wait, where's this?
See on the exit of turn 1, going into turn 2, turn 3. You know that big little
Taking
orange
that.
curb on the side?
I was taking that the whole time.
Yeah, so was I. I did it once on like lap 4 or something and did a half spin, and then Freddie crashed next lap.
I've
So
seen that.
yeah,
That's
it's,
something.
there's a little bit of an auto spin sausage curb on the exit of turn 1, so watch out for that next season, trips. It will kill you. But yeah, good race overall.
Waiting to see.
I'm just happy I managed to keep no warnings the whole race.
Yeah, you were the only. I think you and Rich were the only 2 drivers not to get a penalty.
No warnings, no penalties, clean as you like.
Wish I had that.
We've got Russia next week.
Russia in 3 weeks' time. Love to see it.
Yep. So that has been the Singapore Grand Prix, guys. We will see you
Next year. Literally.
No, we'll see you. No, we will see you next week for the Christmas Championship.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Fuck.
Yeah, so we'll see you for the Christmas Championship. You won't have me on streaming side. That will be SV Ramsey because I am racing in that. Lightshot will still be there probably.
I've already said I sadly can't do that. It's on a Friday and a Saturday, and I have other stuff I got to do those days. But I hope it goes well though, and I'll see if I can tune in at some point and say hello.
Yeah, it'll probably get put on YouTube anyway, dude. So you can
Sweet.
probably watch it back later on. Yeah, so it'll probably just be Ramsey then for that. Till next week, from me and Lightshot, we'll see you in 3 weeks' time.